Round 2013. The gang's all here. Heaps to get through tonight. What a 24 hours in football it has been. Gang, welcome and hello to the lot of you.
Yeah, last night there was a huge moment late in the game. We should be talking about just a fantastic victory to the reigning Premier Sydney. It was an upset victory over Collingwood. Instead, we're talking about this. Adam Goodes late in the game. A 13-year-old girl called him an ape. He pointed out to security to take the girl away. She was taken away, and he finished the game in the change rooms, not out on the ground celebrating with the boys. Eddie Maguire, the president of Collingwood, went straight to the rooms, sought Goodes out, wanted to find out exactly what happened and wanted to apologise on behalf of Collingwood. Fair to say, Adam Goodes was very upset, and he made a fantastic statement this morning. It was very heartfelt and it was very important. Here's a taste of what he had to say this morning.
Personally, I don't think I've ever been more hurt by someone calling me a name than I was last night. Not because of what was said, but because where it came from. It affected me so much that, you know, I couldn't even be on the ground last night to celebrate a victory, to celebrate Indigenous round, and you know, I'm still shattered, and I decided to stand up last night, and I'll continue to stand up because, you know, racism has no place in our industry, has no place in society, and hopefully any person out there that's been name called, has been verbally abused, can stand up for themselves after seeing what happened last night.
Yeah, I tell you what, I watched that press conference this morning and he showed absolutely why he's the #1 role model in the game. He was just, his perspective on it and his attitude to it all was just brilliant, and you couldn't help but take your hat off to Adam Goodes at the end of that.
You want everyone to hear it. I saw somebody today suggesting that it should be shown in full in every classroom around the country because it's such an important message to be actually heard.
Yeah. And the fact that in the middle of all of his anger and all of his disappointment, he put the welfare of the girl alongside his own pain and suffering is a mark of the man. And it was a remarkable statement that Adam Goodes made. And here's a little bit more about the girl that did have to make the apology to him today.
It's not a witch hunt. I don't want people to go after this young girl. We just got to help educate the society better so it doesn't happen again. The person that needs the most support right now is the little girl. You know, people need to get around her. She's 13. She's uneducated. You know, if she wants to pick up the phone and call me and apologise, I'll take that phone call.
How strong was he today? I mean, I think everybody in football was genuinely remarkable stuff.
Absolutely. The good news is that the girl did pick up the phone and did call Adam Goodes, apologised. He said to her what he felt he needed to say. He actually revealed on Twitter that had happened, which is great to see, and he hopes that puts a full stop to the whole situation and hopefully everyone learns from it.
Absolutely, but for all the young fans out there, that's not the way to get a call from the superstars, all right?
No, it's not.
No, it's not, Hughes, you're right.
Yeah, no, but you know what? 20 years ago, Nicky Winmar stood up at Victoria Park, iconic photograph when he pulled up his jumper and showed everyone his skin. That was amazing. There was a photo taken last night of Adam Goodes, and will that be an iconic photo? Which, yeah, let's hope that Bet365 don't get too much advertising.
There's only one person unhappy about that photo, and that's Tommy Waterhouse, but we won't have a chat about that right now. It is the continuation of Indigenous Round 2013, of course, and one of the great celebrations of that is the long walk that takes place from Birrarung Ma to the MCG tonight for the big Richmond-Essendon game, and it wouldn't be the long walk without the great man himself, Michael Long. What a standard bearer he's been for Aboriginal players in the game, and he's joined down on the long walk tonight by another great Indigenous player, David Wirrapunda. To you, Michael, and to you, David. Great to have you on the show again. Hopefully a great night to look forward to. It's fantastic to have you as part of it all again.
Yeah, it most certainly is, Andy, and just the whole momentum and the dream time of the G, and obviously the build-up has just been amazing, and obviously being sold out this weekend, it just shows the great work that all the clubs have been doing, and today the celebration, obviously Nicky, 20 years this day, recognised with the iconic photo that happened. Look, it's just been a magnificent week. I've really enjoyed it, and it's grown bigger and bigger.
And Michael, to you again, if I can. A disappointing moment last night in the Sydney-Collingwood game, but tell us how far we have come since your playing days.
Oh, we most certainly have come a long way. Obviously, some of the great work that our clubs have done, and taking nothing away what happened, it is disappointing on the eve of obviously today's game at Dreamtime at the G. But I think most importantly, it's not about shaming or blaming anyone. It's about education. And I think there's been a lot of things been put in place over the last 20 years. And obviously look at the percentage of players now in all AFL clubs. And the work that clubs do. Let's not forget that all the clubs, the amount of work that they've done in the Indigenous communities. And today's games, symbolises, how multicultural we are, and obviously something that's quite dear to us, and a celebration like tonight.
Where it's great to have you on the show. Can you tell us your involvement tonight, particularly the story behind your mother in this?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest honours for my family is Longy asked us if we could dedicate the long walk tonight to my dear mother, who we lost 2 months ago. So I think from all of our family's perspective, it was pretty exciting, and from what she did as far as Aboriginal affairs right across Victoria and developing relationships with Longy and the Essendon Footy Club as well was pretty significant. So it's pretty honourable, and as you can see, I've invited all my cousins over my shoulder. I'm not sure if Longy's got another 30,000 tickets.
12,000 though,
12,000, yeah.
Now, it's not that far a walk tonight. It's a great walk, but you're not going to be like no one was like the Sydney Swans players last night. Get the tram, are they?
Well, I was going to catch a taxi here. So Longy made me walk.
Hey, to both of you lads, the work you've both done to further the cause of the Indigenous community, particularly through footy, has been absolutely outstanding. It's a great night, and it wouldn't be it without you, Michael, the work that you've done, and it's great to see you part of it as well, Dave. Enjoy the night, and thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for all your support, guys. Thank you, guys.
Michael Long and David Wirrakunda, and it's for all
There's a couple of top blokes.
Absolutely. And what about the game of footy we've got to look forward to tonight? I mean, this has been. It's always been a great experience, but suddenly this has got a match with a fair bit hinging on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the first time that they've played the Dreamtime at the G clash with both sides inside the top eight.
Who's the side that's normally out of the eight?
Yeah, it's normally
Let's have a think about
It's
that.
normally Richmond. I'm going to say
big game for us, I'm not biting.
Mickey, if Richmond win tonight,
It's a big game.
if you win, I reckon you'll make the finals.
We stake our claim tonight. We need a big scalp. We haven't got one. It's a big stage. It's a big occasion. We are going to win this. Oh, look at it this way. All the Essendon players are being interviewed by Asada. One of them actually got stabbed. Their CEO has resigned. It's all coming up tight. If we can't win this one,
Tell you what, your captain's been saying some funny things lately, though. He made a statement about retiring. How old is he? 23?
Yeah, no,
It's 23.
He says if they win the flag in the next 3 years, he's giving up. I mean, it's a ridiculous statement that they think they will win the next 3 years. But he's going to give up at 26. What's he going to do? I mean, he's a superstar.
He'll be older than Cliffy Young when he retires.
Funny you should say that, Mick, because we've actually looked into the crystal ball to see what it might look like if Trent Cotchin hangs around until Richmond win a flag. Here we go. Yep, here he comes there. In the year 2065.
Don't laugh at that.
Still quite nimble.
It's been an odd week, fair to say. An odd week in headlines for footy. This was on Thursday morning, the Herald Sun, which I just saw. I thought, Buddy, really? That outfit's bad, but does he need to apologise on the front page for it? That hat is outrageous, but...
It's come straight from Woody off Toy Story. Is that where that hat's come from?
The hat, I've got no idea where the hat... It's called fashion, Andy.
Is that how they track down at the Hawthorn Footy Club these days?
That's how they roll. They're a sweet-looking bunch of players down there at the Hawthorn Football Club. Hey, Buddy had my full support. There was a girl posted something on Facebook. That's how it all started. I tracked down her Facebook page just to dislike that comment. But Buddy's getting support from everywhere, particularly, and I love this girl down at the club. Buddy's running out onto the ground, and have a listen. So the press go for Buddy for a comment. Have a listen carefully to the little Hawthorn fan in the background and her support for Buddy.
Buddy, you feel like you're in the wrong the other night.
Leave him alone.
What was that, sir?
Anything to say to me?
No, not at all, mate.
Leave him alone, guys.
Why would I have anything to say?
Did you feel like you're in the wrong the other night, or do you reckon you're...
No, not at all, mate.
Guys, just leave him alone.
I want to applaud that girl. Good on you.
Question to you, though, Limo. He attracts a lot of attention when he's out in the town. Will he get back out there, do you think? Do you think he'll go back out?
Back out on the town?
On the town. Well, this is the
Sure
bars he
he'll go
gets
out
in
for a couple
trouble.
of drinks, but there's never any issues.
Like,
Like,
buddy,
buddy,
here. Look, let's
Here we go.
Here's what I'm suggesting. He may go for a quiet night out. He could go to the Chapel Street Bar Eve or Crown. And maybe, just maybe,
not Ricky
party with
Nixon,
Ricky
no.
Nixon.
It'll be the absolute end of it.
He's not partying with Ricky Nixon.
There's been a couple of games of footy played today. One was over at Amy Stadium over there in Adelaide. Geelong visited Port Adelaide. We wonder how the Cats might respond to last week. There's a missing one in front of that 8 right at the very end there, but they have well and truly done the job on Port Adelaide today, Nez.
Yeah, that first quarter was telling. 7 goals to zip in the first quarter, and that was pretty much it from there. Tom Hawkins finished with 6 goals. It's equal best career high for him. So, and his best haul this season. Stevie J picked up 33 touches and kicked a goal, which, given he was a late withdrawal last week with a calf, was very good. Joel Selwood sent a few nervous fans for the Cats, but he's okay. He said after the game he just got a knock to the elbow, and that is why he was subbed out.
And
but
the boss of the AFL, Demetrio, said that Melbourne should follow Port Adelaide. Now, how many in a row have Port Adelaide lost now?
Port Adelaide started 5-0. They're now 0-4 from their last 4 games.
I think they're following Melbourne.
Another game played today at Skoda Stadium. For those who don't know, that's the home of the GWS Giants. They played host to the West Coast Eagles. Now, they've been beaten by 100 points today. The last 2 times they played a home game there, Adelaide got hold of them in round 7 by 135. So that, to my way of thinking, is a 235-point combined deficit the last 2 times they played at home.
Yeah, Darling and Kennedy combined for 10 goals, but the story was this man, as per usual. He had 30-odd hit-outs, a couple of goals, and also laid 8 tackles. Now, the story heading into this was the fact that he was actually born in Western Sydney, out Penrith Way, and Kevin Sheedy sort of brought that up a lot in the pre-game talk. So to see him really put on a show, even have a bit of a giggle on the bench there in the third quarter was great to see.
Yeah, I love watching Nick Naitanui play. I really do.
Yeah.
Unlike this guy who doesn't like it at all. He just sits there. Could have gone to Melbourne. He could have gone to Melbourne.
I mean, the AFL is trying to get GWS across the line, and are they starting to pay the umpires to try to help? Let's check this. We'll just check this out, all right? Here we go. This is here we go. Look, well, the umpire here is just shepherding him. Yeah, that's one of those really awkward situations. So you go left, right. Which way are you going to go? Oh, no.
Is that match fixing?
You know you've got... Well, when the umpire starts...
They still lost by a lot, so it's not match fixing.
Didn't seem to help. Hey, it was, as we pointed out, a massive week in the press. And we found some headlines that you might have missed. I believe Mick Malloy has one.
I do, Limo. This was from The Age earlier in the week. Ricky Nixon says Buddy needs to pull his head in. Sage advice there.
This is from the Herald Sun today. Swans players discover how easy fair evasion is. Mike is not working.
And this headline in The Australian this morning, Richmond fans to do long walk from the MCG at three-quarter time.
We're going to take a break here on Before the Game. A massive show, plenty more to come. Sydney Speedster Lewis Jetta comes in to talk about the dream win of the G last night. No Dreamtime debut for these young stars.
Don't get in the biggest laugh of the night!
And gun recruit Quinton Lynch joins us to discuss the Patchy Pies performances so far this season. Welcome back to the show. It is Before the Game. There are many, many great reasons to watch footy. One of them is to watch Lewis Jetta do his thing. He was doing it last night. He's been good enough to join us on the show tonight. Lewis Jetta from Sydney, everyone.
Looking great out on the ground when you're playing football, but you are styling tonight. You've got some sweet specs on, but can you stand up for us to show off those pants?
Hello, good.
Look at these.
They really go with that top too.
They are. So
There's a bit of a story behind these, is there not?
Yeah, I actually got there by Shorey. He said, make sure you wear your leopard pants or cheetah pants and your glasses and rock it.
No, the glasses, are you short-sighted or long-sighted?
I'm not too sure. All I know is I look good.
You're a hipster. You're a hipster.
Well, one thing you had to look for last night was an alternative way to get to the ground because your team bus broke down, which meant that a whole bunch of you ended up getting different forms of transport. Some got a cab, there was a replacement bus, but some also ended up getting a tram to the game. That's Jude Bolden, Daniel Hanbury there as well. Can you talk us through your experience last night with the broken down bus?
Yeah, I was actually hoping they would send a limousine or a big Hummer. But yeah, it was kind of funny. I couldn't stop laughing. Told us the bus was broken, and I just figured I'll just run down and jump on the tram. But as I'm walking away, the bus just comes around the corner, so just wait.
The other
So
bus.
you got the replacement bus, and you're about 20 minutes late or 30 minutes late?
Yeah, traffic was horrible. I actually should have jumped on the
The tram was the easiest way to go.
You could have got a Collingwood fan to show you how to hotwire a car.
Your coach was he was just amazed at your ability to get to the ground. Check out what he said about it.
I was a bit concerned. I was here, and there was apparently all reports coming through from Twitter and Collingwood supporters on the tram. So I was a really good sign by our players to be resilient and get through that.
It's like you just walked the Kokoda Trail. I mean, where's your hotel?
Crown Plaza.
Crown Plaza. So it's about a 10-minute walk anyway.
Yeah, it is. We actually should have jogged there for a while.
I've got to hand it to you guys, though. You'll use any type of transport. This is how he turned up tonight when he came to the show. Have a look at that. That is. Hats off to you, Mr. Jeff. Hats off to you. That's a good one.
It's not a bad replacement for that limousine.
There's too many style things going on there. I don't know which way to look. There was a game of footy played 65,000 there or thereabouts at the MCG last night. We wondered how Sydney was going to go against Collingwood off the back of that Geelong performance last week. And this was Sydney's A game there early. They came to play last night and they reminded us why they won last year's grand final.
And Adam Goodes had his best game for the season. He kicked 3 goals for the game. His first was his 400th in AFL, which is quite an achievement. He had 30 touches, 11 marks, and set up a few other goals as well, and laid a couple of very important tackles. So his performance was just sensational. And how important is he to you as a leader of the club to see a performance like this against the odds, I guess, at the MCG?
Yeah, definitely. When he's up and going, there's no one that can stop him. And he showed that in the grand final and showed that last night as well. So, he's a superstar of the game. And I'm just happy he's still in there, so I can, when I'm under pressure, I just kick it to him.
No matter which highlight we watch, whether it's in the deep in defence at your end or deep in attack at the other end, there's always one or two of at least of your midfielders around the footy as well. They cover the ground. They work so hard. Are they the most honest group of midfielders to your reckoning in the competition?
Definitely. If you really take note, you see I'm the only one that's pretty much down in the back line running. Shout out to we're a pretty hard-working team. We like to just run and carry and pretty much outrun our
Did you
teammates.
have extra players on the ground last night? Did it really look that way?
It really did.
It looked like that, but we're just a hard-working team.
I'm pretty sure it was 18 at most times. You guys had a tough one against Hawthorn a few weeks ago. In your preparation for your next visit to the G, which was last night, was that a jumping-off point for you in the preparations for this game?
He just wanted to remind you that Hawthorn beat you, honestly. It was just
living in the past, man.
That's right. I don't know what happened. The Hawthorn game, I think we might have to catch a tram and that seemed to work, so I think we might have to do it again.
Last night after the game, how was Adam and how did you take what happened to him?
Yeah, all I saw was he coming off, and I tried to ask him what was going on, but I had to get onto the field, and he went down to the change room, and then after that we actually spoke about it, and I was devastated. It was disappointing for that to still happen. But clearly, she's a young girl. She hasn't been educated, like Goodsy said this morning, and it's not up to her. It's also up to everyone to go out and educate everyone about it, especially the new young generation that's coming through as well.
People talk about his leadership qualities. Has he, from the moment you've met him, have you been struck by his capacity to lead?
Yeah, he's an amazing leader. He needs to get me around to dinner more often. I've been pretty slack on the dinners lately.
I've got an example of how much you love him. A little bit of vision from the song after the game. Just check him out. All eyes are on Adam Goodes. He's ready to go, and who just pops in? Don't forget about me.
can you just get that back? Can we get a freeze? No. Now, have a look. Hilarious, but I recognise that face, I'm pretty sure, from Instagram. Is that you? Is that you with Dempsey?
Nah, it's not. It's actually my twin brother.
That is you. Now, he got suspended. What happened to you? You got away scot-free.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why.
You are terrible. It's 4 in the morning.
Deny. Winners agreement. When that was all splashed up on the news and you found out about it.
Yeah, surprised. But I didn't think really too much about it. I was just thinking about training next day.
It was the next day.
Straight to 4 in the morning, for God's sake. He went straight to recovery. Now, you mentioned about you running back last night into the back line, and of course you're running into the forward line. I read an interesting article that you wrote for the Daily Telegraph where you said that when you feel as though you're not playing well, you revisit games where you have played well to remind you how to play good footy. And that happened recently, didn't it, where you went back to a round 6 game from last year?
Yeah, definitely. You know, my confidence was down. I wasn't getting really much touches. I wasn't scoring, so I just watched a few games. I watched the Adelaide game and also the North Melbourne game where I was just doing about two-way hard running. And yeah, just bring back some good memories and got that good feeling about myself back, and you know, took it into the St Kilda game and then probably from there onwards.
Well, it's clearly worked because last night you kicked one of the goals of the year, that's for sure. Look at this fantastic effort. The run, you just left Nick Maxwell just looking like he's walking, basically. Unloaded from 50. It was just a special effort in the third quarter. It made the lead 42 points, so there was no looking back. It must be fun to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I love using my pace. I play to my strength, and I was actually hoping about the bounce. I was just waiting for it to come up, and yeah, it seems like it. Every time I get into space, the ball just bounces perfect up for me.
Yeah, do you expect it to happen? And that's why I want to have a look at, just focus on your reaction after one of the goals of the year. It was called one of the goals of the year. Just a tiny little reaction, just a little bit of a fist up there. Yeah, whatever, guys. That's what I do. I want to compare that to a teammate of yours, another superstar, Daniel Hannebery. He got a 50-metre penalty and got a kick from the goal line. Check out his reaction after a 50-metre penalty. Oh, yeah. 50 metre. Does he always carry on like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think his jumper's too tight. Stretching out a bit.
Lewis Jenner's going to stick around. We are as well. And on the other side of the break, Hughesy's got a very, very special super spray for us.
All right, X, Chris, these guys are going to play the MCG tomorrow night, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, now they're all over 18, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all over 18. You can unleash on them.
Well, they're going to get some tough love right now. Let's do it. All right, we're playing on the MCG tomorrow night, are we? Yeah! Guys, some of the best teams in the AFL play on the MCG and Melbourne, all right? So, now it's the Dreamtime game, yeah? Yeah! I can tell you, I dreamed for 40 years every night when I went to bed to go and play at the MCG. Yeah, it hasn't happened. That's not funny. Sad, all right? It's going to be a massive crowd, and it's going to feel like a final. But don't. You've never played in a final at MCG? No, you haven't. Nor has anyone from the Richmond Footy Club. Now, don't play too well. If you play too well, you could get drafted by GWS, yeah? Buddy Franklin, a hero, yeah, he plays really good. Yeah, he's popular with the girls, isn't he? Yeah. He's kicked a lot of goals, buddy, and some of them have been on the field, yeah? Cyril Rioli, yeah? You love Cyril Rioli, yeah? He's such a good footballer, he's made the name Cyril sound cool. Justin Kickett, yeah? That's your name, yeah? You're related to the Kicketts. I hear you're related to the Jedders as well, all the Jedders, yeah? I hear you're related to Buddy Franklin as well, are you? Yeah? Yeah? And someone told me you've tried to say that you're related to Andrew Demetriou, yeah? Mate, he's Greek, all right? Yeah, you played really well, you impressed me. You'll get to meet Mick Malthouse, yeah? Yeah, and can you take me too? Because who the hell are you? Are you fired up? You're going to go mad tomorrow night? Bloody go mad!
They won't motivate it. Nothing really playing in the Rio Tinto take a couple of
goosebumps.
Oh, absolutely stirring stuff. A bunch of under 23-year-old lads who are going to be having the time of their life out at the MCG. And what a great experience that's going to be for them, Lou.
And you do know Justin Kickett, that guy there?
Yeah, I do. He's actually my nephew, so yeah, he's a funny character. he's a one of a twin, and you know, I asked him earlier this weekend, can you give me some tickets? And he goes, yeah, I got 10. I'm like, how the hell did you get 10 tickets to this game tonight? And he goes, I'm Juddy Kickett, everyone knows me.
Sounds like you're on a winner there. And speaking of family, you went to New Zealand earlier this year, and on the way you took your partner Jess and a young fella Lewis Jr. You were very cute going through the airport, I've got to say, with the young fella. Look at him there. He's a little beauty right there, and your partner Jess expecting again. You know you're having a girl, and I believe you're not allowed to name the girl.
Yeah, definitely. If I do, I'd probably get slapped across the face.
So he's Lewis. Would she be Lewis Etta or what?
I'm trying to get Lewis and Louise, but or Lewis and Jess, but it's not going well.
Can I ask you a question about Mike Pike? He's leading the competition for contested marks this year. Now, it was only probably 3 years ago that he was pretty much the butt of jokes in the AFL. You know, the Canadian and can't play and all the rest of it. Can you believe the improvement that we're seeing in the big fella?
Oh, he's amazing. Every time I go to training, he's always doing extras. Every time I go there, he's extra, marking contests, hitting bags, bashing up Henry Playfair.
That just sounds like fun, doesn't it? Bashing up Henry Playfair.
I wouldn't want to ruck against him.
He's amazing. You're amazing. Goodsy's amazing. There's so many amazing players in that team. And why is your coach so stressed? I mean, last week against Fremantle, I was worried for him. Have a look at the vision. The poor old Johnny Horse Longmire. I mean, I know it's close, and you won the premiership only a few months ago. Just relax, mate. Have a look at this. Seriously, did he actually? I feel maybe that after. Did he need counselling during the week?
He's a scary guy. I tend to hide behind Goodsy or Pike or Big Mummy when he's yelling at us.
You were 5-2 going into that game. It wasn't as if you were travelling that. Now, you did concede that 4.5 goal lead in the last quarter. What did he do to address that at the end of the game?
To be honest, I cannot remember.
You're asleep behind Goodsy, weren't you?
Yeah, I was just pretty much deaf from half-time, quarter-time.
I really want to get your take on something, because one of your former teammates at Swan Districts back in WA, Michael Walters, hurt himself in that game. Now, when he went off, he needed assistance to get off. Then he was forced to hop up the stairs, up the grandstand, through the members, and then has about another 500-metre walk after that. He's now out for 4 weeks with that ankle injury. So it's not like he was faking.
You are filthy about this.
I am filthy about this. But what do you think? This is your home ground. Do you feel like it's good enough, I guess? How would you feel if that was elsewhere?
Yeah, I heard they had to run up to a cricket centre to if they get injured or stuff. But you know, if they wait another 2 or 3 more years, it should be all set. We'll just have a 4-wheeler or little cart that just takes them up there.
Well, you guys got a tram to the game last night. Just hook up a tram that takes them.
Just make up as you go along.
I hope you don't mind us just turning the clock back. You know, about what is it? About 9 months now. I know you probably won't, having met you for the first time tonight. I reckon you might enjoy having another look.
This
is going to be one of those moments in grand final history. Did you know you had Cyril behind you? Did you know who was trying to get to you?
Yeah. Definitely.
That was awesome, mate.
Had a little look over my shoulder and saw him and run straight towards Goodsy, and all he pretty much did gave Cyril a high five. Or actually hoping he would give me a good block, but he just reached out. And I'm like,
Cyril did get you then, though. I mean, you had to kick the ball, but he did get you.
How does it feel to be that quick and just be able to go, I'm backing myself
I'll
up.
handle this one. But you get used to it after a while.
It must be a great feeling.
Yeah, all I do is grab the ball and run for my life. As you can see, I'm not very big. Got chicken legs, so that's all I do, just run from life.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that is one of the great chasers, and I've got a few of my favourite. This is probably my favourite of all time, though. This one here, which is it's not quite as. There's something about that that's just magical. It really is. That was a great moment, Ewan Cyril. That's one for the ages.
Mate, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on the show. We wish you all the very best. It reminded us last night exactly what you blokes are capable of when you really get your ducks in a row, and you did it last night, and we wish you all the very best for the rest of the season. Lewis Jenner, everybody, what a player he is and what a team they are. A break here on Before the Game. Quinton Lynch is going to join us on the other side of the break, and the boys jump in the Holden, Colorado, and take a drive with Will Minson.
We're heading down to pick up Will Minson at the Western Oval for a Holden lap of the block.
Good work.
And, mate...
Yes?
Do not mention Rocket Eid.
I promise you I won't mention Rocket Eid.
G'day, fellas.
Big fella.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Oh.
Give us a bit of local colour. Where do you go for lunch around here, mate?
I usually drive all the way back over to South Australia.
Okay, did you just beep his horn?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is unbelievable.
No,
Don't beep another man's
I've
horn.
spent a lot of time in India, and I really do. I think the horn is an adequate means to communicating with other drivers.
Do you like a horn that does the old classic? You know, the old...
Unless he's got a litre of ice cream in the back.
Hey, what about Luke Dowhouse? Do you try and stay away from him because you're worried that he might have nits?
Definitely. It's something that one of the main reasons that he's keeping the dreadlocks is, he has got a really large head.
Has he got a big...
Yeah, he's got a big jawline as well. I think if you were to cut that hair, you'd be amazed at the disproportion.
Who would you say is the most annoying person at the club at the moment? What about Liam Picken?
Well, I feel for Snur because he's just had 2 young twins.
I've had twin boys. Guess what I call them? Ron and Jeremy. No, I do. I've got 2 boys. Yeah. Do you want one? In fact, we better go get them. I left them in a car out in front of the Western Oval.
Safest house it's been.
They'll be all right.
They'll be all right.
You built this sort of, in AFL standards, this crazy image of yourself because do you speak a second language?
I certainly haven't built it, so...
No, but it's built itself. It's magically appeared around you.
Yeah, well, maybe I haven't done enough to shoot it down.
Yeah, well,
in the early days, I spoke 4 languages and had 3 degrees to my belt, which is pretty amazing for someone 6 months out of school, but...
Especially in Footscray.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't speak German?
No, I do speak German. I learned at school, but I've gotten worse at it ever since.
Ah, right. So you don't keep up your German?
Well, it's not much use on the footy field. Justin Leppich did sledge me once in German. I thought it was fun.
What did he say in German?
Look at
Ich bin ein Dickwacker.
It's quite an easy language. You picked it up.
Well, Nicky and I need to, well, we've got a little surprise for you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Rodney Eads' house. There you go, mate. He's waiting for you. And we have to duck off.
Right,
so sorry, mate.
Not a problem.
But say good day to Rod.
Thanks, mate. Cool. Thanks, fellas.
For us, okay.
Cheers,
good on you. Thanks, buddy. Cheers.
Very poor form from you two blokes. Thanks to Holden, Colorado. That was a little bit of fun. Hey, please make welcome our next special guest from the Collingwood Football Club, Quinton Lynch, everybody.
Quick clarification to start with. Is it are you the Q-tip or the Q-stick? Because I've heard both recently.
I've heard both, and I've heard a lot of others. So whatever you want to put it as, we'll leave it up.
Give us a preference.
Which do you like the most?
Q-stick's probably been around a bit longer.
You're a stick man. Fair enough.
Yes.
Last night, were you stunned by the reigning premiers? Because nobody really expected that sort of performance, that comprehensive.
Oh, I can't say I was stunned. Sydney are a great footy side and a very proud footy side, and they've been questioned over the last few weeks, and when you question a team like that and they come out and they produce what they did, obviously. So, over my career at Collingwood and obviously my career at West Coast, I've always had some big battles against Sydney, and they're a great team, and they showed that again last night.
I appreciate the length of the length of that answer, because your coach wasn't giving answers that long last night in the press conference. Just check out Bucks's form.
Nathan, down fighting last week.
Yeah. No.
Pretty short press conference, right?
After after doing so well against Geelong last week and then coming up against Sydney, you look at the defensive side and there seems to just be inconsistent efforts or products. What do you put it down to?
I can't really put my finger on it at the moment. Obviously, you know, the whole season for us has been a little bit of a rollercoaster so far, and we're doing our best to you know, to level it out and, you know, stay on the upside. So we'll keep working at that, and hopefully, you know, as I said, we can, you know, level our form out and, you know, start really hitting our straps.
I tell you what, you can't blame the on-field leadership. We've got some great leaders there, including your captain, Nick Maxwell. I'm interested, can you talk me through this? This is a very eloquent speech he's making on the halfback line. Tell me what he's actually saying here.
Yeah, for you too. If you're going to play that role, you can find yourself going and get used to that air, Reedy. See the wind's don't feel up.
Explain that. Or translate it.
I can't explain that for Maxi, but it actually got a bit worse for Maxi during the game because I think he broke his nose and he had his nose strapped. So the half-time one wasn't much better, I'll give you that.
Well, you have to put up with some hardships whenever you play, because you've got a finger which is, it's fair to say, a little bit skew-off. Can we have a look at it? Skew-if? Have a look at that. Yeah, can you hang on, just put it up. Hang on. We're just going to cut away. We just need, this is a family time slot. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a bit better. I mean, that is full on, isn't it?
It's still on, which is lucky. Yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's obviously it looks worse than
was
it is.
Was there an incident, or is this just wear and tear, or is this
a prolonged thing? I probably broke it and never sort of, being your pinky, I sort of thought it was a bit sore and didn't really get the doctor to check it.
How many years? How many years have been like that?
It's been like that for about 3, but really bad for probably the last 18 months.
Can you bend it? Like, do you get full mobility out of it? No, you can't really.
So what do you do with it then? Do you go down the Daniel Chick route and get rid of it, or no? If it's causing pain, he decided because it's less painful.
No, well, that's I've only got a couple of options, and that's one of them. Cut it off. They can fuse it straight, maybe, but they can't do that while I'm playing footy because if they break the fusion, well, that's finished. And maybe if I'm lucky, they might be able to put a joint replacement when I'm finished footy.
Full on.
That is indeed full on.
Otherwise, I'll just leave it.
Well, you could, of course, leave it. But the Collingwood fans have embraced it, and I love that. They're getting on board. And if you go to a Collingwood game now, of course, you'll see it around the ground.
It's a beauty. Quinn Lynch is going to stick around on the other side of this, the tool of the week. Welcome back to the show. Quinn Lynch from the Collingwood Footy Club, our special guest.
Now, mate, the finger's not your only injury over the journey. You had a bad one at the West Coast a few years ago, which worried everyone. Just to hear you describing it. Here we go.
Yeah, as I said before, I had a bit of ring rust early.
I mean, that must be...
It's the third time you brought it up now.
Yeah. You're counting, haven't you?
Well, I just love the injury.
The reason we bring it up now, Quentin, is I think you gave a dose of ring rust to Luke Ball. Because, of course, the only way you can get rid of ring rust is a weird walk. You can see Luke Ball. That's how you get rid of it. You just kind of... crab walk, and eventually you shake it off. He's been doing that for months, but he's nearly rid of it.
You're from country WA, big with the farming. Your dad's a farmer. He always wanted to get you involved in the harvesting time of the year. Has the move to Melbourne affected that?
Yeah, let's put the blinkers on that for a while. So, Dad used to like it if he played late in the finals. It means I'd get extra holidays and, be able to help out with harvest. But I've left him to it for a few years and hopefully he can survive.
How did he cope with that?
I think he was pretty happy for me to come over here for the opportunity. But, I spoke to him last night, actually. He's just finished putting the crop in, so all's good at the moment.
Very good. Now, you had the opportunity to travel back to Perth for the first time with Collingwood. It was a great opportunity, I imagine, to catch up with family and friends, as it was for Heath Shaw, who took advantage of the situation.
I arrived last night, a day earlier than the other boys, just because I'm old and I can't fly in and train the same day. Came over with a couple of guys. Tomo come over because he was bored. Nathan Brown came over to see his brother, and then when he got here, realised his brother was in Brisbane, so that worked out well.
Yeah, well planned, everyone. Well planned.
He's
Great stuff.
a genuinely strange individual, Hershaw. Is he about? You find him a very eccentric character? Is he?
Hershaw's a great fella. Very full on, obviously, but my daughter's actually struck up this unweird liking for the man. So it's, I try and keep him apart actually because she thinks Hershaw's the greatest thing.
I think they're on the same.
At the
How
moment.
old is she?
Yeah, she's 3.
Yeah. They're on the same mental level.
But you want to look elsewhere for babysitting duties, I think. Hey, now it's time for our favourite segment here on the show. It's the Home Hard Work.
This actually involves you, and it involves last night's game, and it's about your finger. You normally wear a glove when you play, don't you, on the finger?
I do.
You do, yeah. But you, Matthew Richardson, who is a fine commentator, and don't get me wrong here, Richo, we love you, but right, he was on the ground trying to comment on your play last night, and I think you missed a goal at one point, and he wanted to blame the fact that you were wearing the glove when you kicked for goal. Let's have a look at how this went.
No, I'm just saying with your ball drop, when you've got the glove on your hand, you haven't got the same feel on the ball, and normally players would wear one glove purely for a marking
do you think
purpose.
that's affecting his kicking?
Yeah, I do. It's affecting his ball drop.
But he takes it off.
He didn't have the glove on, Richo! Seriously, you're no good with fingers, mate. Let's have a look at you playing and how you used to interact with fingers, yeah? You're no good with fingers! Well, Richo, you get the block with the iron, the drill driver, go where the tradies go, home hardware, you're the tool of the week.
Stick around this morning, comes Quinn Lynch on the other side of the break. Nerily, she's all over at Etihad Stadium. Tell me what happened, please.
A massive upset. The Bulldogs 9-point winners. Robert Murphy, he's kicked some absolutely special goals this year, and he's added to that tally with this wonderful effort to put them within 2 points. And then Gian Siracusa puts them in front. They kicked 6 goals to 4 in that final quarter. A massive upset, as I say. And
final scores, Dylan Addison kicking 4. And the skipper, Matty Boyd's had 39 disposals, which is incredible.
And some news for Saints, just to add insult to injury, that Lenny Hayes looks to have redone his calf. So he was subbed out at 3/4 time. But great to see Adam Goodes was at the game to watch his brother live for the first time.
Yeah. There we go. Hey, one thing we hate here on the show, Quentin Lynch, drugs in sport, particularly performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, we do.
So we're putting together a clean team. Now, these are players who definitely are not on performance-enhancing drugs. Our nomination this week is, from the Collingwood Football Club, Quentin Lynch. Congratulations. Welcome. Here you go. Watch this. You try and get a mark, then you tackle your teammate. What is that all about? Why would you? He's on your team.
That's outstanding.
So welcome. We're going to put you on a half-forward flank. Welcome into the clean team.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
We're putting a pretty handy team together. What was going on there?
Obviously, I just dropped that mark, and then I saw the footy and just dove after it, and cracks end up being underneath me.
Honours you've been able to achieve here tonight. That'll ring right up there with the best of them. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Quinn Lynch, our special guest. That's it for us. We're done and dusted. See you next week.